So other fragrances in my collection, LATTAFA probably makes up the vast majority so far, although houses like Fragrance World are starting to come along as far as in my collection. But I wanted to give you some fragrances from the line of LATTAFA that are perfect for this spring, even shifting into summer weather. So stick around. I've got 7, I think it is, for you. Fragrances that I think you'll like for spring, summer from the house of LATTAFA. All right, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin, and this is SmellGoodz. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate you taking the time to click the video and sit here and watch it, because it helps. All right, helps out the channel. Listen, we've hit 3,000. So to all of those of you that have watched and subscribed, big heartfelt appreciation. Thanks to each and every one of you. If you've watched but haven't subscribed, it's okay, but subscribing means you can turn on those notifications, means that you can be notified every time I drop a new video, you get it. So appreciate you anyway. All right, not anyway, but I still appreciate each and every one of you. All right, here we go. So again, LATTAFA has been, since I kind of started my fragrance journey, since I started really paying attention to notes and kind of building this collection, being a fragrance enthusiast, all those fun things. LATTAFA was one that kind of started it off as far as showing me what's possible without spending a whole bunch of money. And so by default, they've kind of been the ones that have made up a good portion of my collection as far as clones, covers, remixes. That's shifting, that's changing, but there'll always be a place for LATTAFAs in my collection as far as the way I'm looking at it. All right. So I wanted to give you, with that in mind, I wanted to give you 7, strictly from the house of LATTAFA, 7 fragrances that are probably what I consider is probably their best that I have out of my collection. Best for spring and summer, that you may want to, if you haven't put your nose on, you may want to. Some of these have been around for a little while. Some of these are newer as far as when they've been released, but all of these I think are things that you might want to look at for your spring and summer type of collection from LATTAFA. All right, first one up, I'm going to talk about it every time I pull this out. The juice inside is good. The bottle design is cheesy, corny, it's lame. All right, but we are talking from LATTAFA, and let me get the horse head right. This is Mahir Legacy. A little hard to see, it's a little metallic fingerprint magnet. This is doing its take on Sedley. Sprite in a bottle is how I would describe it. This just definitely has the citrus, it has the freshness that you have from Sedley. In fact, I've got here a little decanter or sample, I should say, of Sedley. Pretty close, not 100%, but pretty close to it. And so if you're looking for a spring, summer fragrance, this is one of the top ones from LATTAFA. It's been around for a while. In fact, I think you might even be able to pick this up at Burlington. I know I saw the black one there. I'm not sure about the silver one, but you can probably pick this up from a retailer, a rack store, whatever it may be. They're starting to have these, but definitely if you can, Mahir Legacy, something that you might want to consider for spring, summer from LATTAFA. All right, next one up is one that this is a room filler. This is a room shifter, and every time I talk about this, you're going to hear the story about how it lasts throughout a wash. Wore it one day last summer, wore it, sprayed it, splacka all over, threw the shirt in the washing machine. A couple of days later, after I pulled it out the dryer, went to fold it, I could still smell it on it. I am talking about from, again, LATTAFA. This is Amir, and this is their take on Clive Christian's Town and Country. Very nice citrus fragrance, a little more elevated in my opinion. You can wear it whenever you want to wear it. I don't lock things in, but it does feel more at home in kind of an elevated type of situation. But great fragrance, last, room filler. Did I mention it last? This is good, definitely spring and summer. And so this is getting worn again now that we're starting to hit into those warmer months. This is being broken out. And the presentation on this, if you've not seen the presentation, I think I've got a video. I'll try and remember to link it up there. But the presentation on it, as far as just the unboxing, is kind of crazy for what you're paying for this. Again, this is LATTAFA's Amir. All right. Next one up is one that is another room filler. This one is Almost biohazardous, just because if you spray this more than 3 times, you might be guilty of attempted manslaughter. I am talking about from LATTAFA. This is Atlas. This is middle of the ocean, on a boat, on a yacht. This is that type of fragrance. It's doing its take on Eau de Parisi's Megamare, whatever, however you pronounce it. But this spring, summer, definite, works very well. Potent. You don't need a whole lot of sprays with this. Literally, you will spray this twice. I mean, if you do blop, blop, you're good. If you're the type of person that goes blop, blop, blah, 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 you're gonna be choked out, and whoever was around you might be choked out for a while. This is very potent, very strong, very much a beast mode fragrance, not only in performance, but in its projection, all of those things. But it is from LATTAFA, one of the things that I think is a top fragrance as far as its spring and summer lineup. Definitely, you can't go wrong with it. Again, LATTAFA's Atlas. All right. Next one up is one that is doing its take on what I would consider now to be kind of a classic fragrance. One that is kind of a standard, I want to say standard, but it is one very mass appeal, very much fresh, very much a soapy type of fragrance. I am talking about from LATTAFA. This is Fakhar Black. And this is doing its take on YSL. Yeah, you get the soapy freshness, the soapy cleanness of this. This definitely spring, summer, especially when we're talking those hot, sticky days. You want something that's gonna still kind of give you that feel of being fresh out the shower, that feel of just being fresh and clean. This does a good job of it, and something that you'll definitely look at for spring and summer. LATTAFA's Fakhar Black. All right. Next one up is one that, for me, yes, a couple of these next ones probably could fit kind of in the winter phase, but I think they're still good for the springtime. And they do a great job of cloning what they're cloning, which in this case, this one is from LATTAFA. This is Vintage Radio. It is doing its take on Initio's Paragon. You got the plum. This to me just flows well in the springtime. This is one that I wear fairly often. If you watch my weekly reviews or rotation videos, you'll see that I've worn this a couple of times. This definitely works even in office type of situation, but it's light enough in my opinion. It's got some depth to it, but it's still light enough to wear in the springtime. I'll see how we're looking at summer, just because summer here is 120 degrees. But this is something that still I think works very well, even as we move into warmer time frames. This spring, summer lineup, definitely Vintage Radio from LATTAFA. All right. Next one is one that I think I did a review on this not too long ago, and it's going to be heavier in rotation too, especially during the spring and summer months from LATTAFA. It is doing its take on, and I keep making sure I get this correctly because I did in one video say it incorrectly, but this is doing its take on Blue Talisman, Ex Nihilo's Blue Talisman. This is from LATTAFA, from their LATTAFA Pride line. This is Art of Universe. Does Blue Talisman in a nice way. A little sweet, a little more sweeter than I remember Blue Talisman to be, but definitely does a good job as far as giving you that space, giving you that mindset of Blue Talisman, and then also works very well for spring, for summer. This stands up to the heat pretty well. Again, the citrus in this, all of this, those things that are just going to make you feel like you're in a, and it's leveled up too. It kind of feels leveled up as far as the smell of it. Not just a nice citrus fragrance. It kind of feels a little well blended, a little leveled up from it. But again, LATTAFA's Art of Universe from their Pride collection. That's going to be another one. And then the last one is one that recently got into my collection. Haven't done a full review on it yet, but it's coming. Again, make sure you are tapped in. Make sure you hit that subscribe, like, request notifications, because when I drop this review, you'll definitely want to see it. But I am talking about from LATTAFA. This is Jasoor, and this is doing its take on Valentino Coral Fantasy, I believe. Now, this again is something that probably fits well in winter as well, but for me, the springtime works very well for this as well. Just a nice fragrance, depth to it again, but does a really good job of cloning what it's cloning, does a really good job of bringing you into that space. Bottle, I'm kind of iffy on the bottle, just as far as my initial thoughts on it, as far as the bottle design. But as far as the juice is good. Good thing, good space. All right, that's it. I think I gave you 7 fragrances that are from LATTAFA that will be good for spring and summer. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if there's some things that you have access to or things that you think would be good on my list. This is just, again, what I have in my list. And again, this is just LATTAFA. I'll probably put out another spring, summer. I've already got one for spring, I think, but I'll put another one out just with some other things, especially after I've gotten some other stuff in my collection that is working really well in this spring and summer season. All right, that's it for this one. Do me the favor, stay safe, stay sane, stay smelling good. And then as always, hit that like, hit that subscribe, request notifications, share. YouTube's about to show you a video here that you might want to check out. And then I've got a video here that you might want to check out as well. All right, see you next time. Be blessed. Deuces.